One of the most terrifying places in the world, Alaska's Black Hollow Asylum. 90% of those who entered never came back, and those who did were never the same again. But is this just a myth or something far more sinister? Today we'll uncover the horrifying truth behind this place. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and help us reach 50 likes. Otherwise, who knows who might visit your dreams tonight. So brace yourselves, because we're entering the most dangerous and mysterious place in Alaska. But remember, not everyone makes it back from here. Let's begin. In the frozen wilderness of Alaska, where the winters are endless and the nights stretch into months, there lies a place so steeped in terror that even the bravest souls dare not speak its name aloud. The locals call it the Black Hollow Asylum, though no records of its existence can be found in any official archive. Those who have ventured near swear they've heard the echoes of screams carried on the wind, voices that do not belong to the living. Built in the early 1900s under mysterious circumstances, the asylum was said to house the most deranged and incurable patients, those deemed too dangerous for society. But whispers tell of darker purposes, experiments conducted in secret, patients vanishing without explanation, and a doctor who became more monster than man. The asylum burned to the ground one fateful winter's night, trapping all inside. Yet some say the fire didn't kill them, it only set them free to roam the ruins forever. Visitors who have foolishly stepped onto the cursed grounds report seeing shadowy figures in tattered hospital gowns, their hollow eyes following every movement. Others speak of phantom hands gripping their ankles from beneath the snow, of whispers begging for help in voices long since silenced. The worst accounts tell of a tall, gaunt figure in a blackened doctor's coat, his face melted into a permanent grin, still searching for new patients to treat. No one stays long after sundown. Those who do are never seen again, or worse, they return changed, their minds shattered by whatever lurks in the asylum's crumbling halls. The cold does not bother the dead, and in Alaska's endless night, the lost souls of the Black Hollow Asylum are always waiting. Do you dare seek it out? Or will you heed the warnings and stay far away? After all, some doors should never be opened, especially those already broken free from the inside. Even in the brutal Alaskan wilderness, where blizzards erase whole trails in minutes and the cold gnaws at flesh like a starving beast, there are those who cannot resist the pull of the forgotten asylum. Hunters swear they've seen flickering lights in its shattered windows, though no living soul has set foot inside for decades. Prospectors tell of finding frozen footprints leading toward the ruins but never away. The few who have tried to document the horrors within never return with intact records. Photographs develop as streaks of black, as if something moved too fast for the lens to capture. Voice recorders pick up ragged breathing just behind the listener, though no one else is there. And those who sleep too close to the ruins wake screaming, babbling about figures standing over them in the dark, their fingers curled like claws. Years ago, a trapper named Elias McCabe, half mad from isolation, claimed he could cleanse the asylum of its ghosts. Armed with a rusted crucifix and a flask of whiskey, he marched into the ruins at dusk, vowing to stay until sunrise. The next morning, search parties found his camp untouched, his bedroll neatly laid out, his fire still smoldering. But Elias himself was discovered inside the asylum's crumbling lobby, kneeling in the center of the room, his hands clasped as if in prayer. Not torn out, not burned, simply missing, the sockets smooth and hollow as if they had never been. His lips were stretched in a grin too wide for a living man, his teeth cracked from the force of it, and when they tried to move him, his body crumbled into ash, leaving only his boots behind filled with freshly fallen snow. Since then, travelers near Black Hollow swear they've seen a figure standing at the asylum's broken entrance, its face a featureless void, its arms outstretched as if waiting to welcome another lost soul inside. Some say it's Elias, bound to the ruins forever. Others insist it's something far older, something that wore Elias's skin just long enough to lure in the next victim. The asylum still stands. The dead do not rest, and in the endless Alaskan night, the Hollow Ones are always listening. There is a reason why the Inuit elders refuse to speak of Black Hollow. They call it Tupilak, a place where the dead do not sleep, where the land itself is hungry. Long before the asylum was built, something ancient waited beneath the ice, and when the walls of that cursed hospital rose, it woke something that should have stayed buried. The first outsiders to vanish were the construction workers. Official records claim they abandoned the project, fleeing south before the winter storms. But the truth is carved into the asylum's foundation stones names, scratched in desperation, some still stained with frozen blood. The men who laid those stones knew they were building their own tomb. Then came the patients. Not all were mad when they arrived. Some were simply inconvenient, troublesome wives, rebellious sons, men who knew too much. The asylum's director, Dr. Velis, had his own theories about treatment. His journal, recovered decades later, spoke of perfecting the human mind through controlled terror. The final entry, written in jagged script, reads, "They are in the walls now. They sing to me at night. I will join them soon. But the worst fate belongs to those who go seeking the asylum's secrets today. Every few years, another group of thrill seekers or ghost hunters ventures into the Hollow, armed with cameras and EVP recorders. Some leave behind eerie footage, shadow figures darting just out of frame, whispers in a language no linguist can identify. Others leave nothing at all. They come back changed, hollow-eyed, smiling. They speak of the choir inside the asylum, of voices that promise peace to those who surrender. They refuse to eat, yet never grow thin. They sleep with their eyes open, and if you listen closely to their breathing, you'll hear it the faintest echo of something else breathing with them. The asylum is always waiting. The snow never melts from its steps, and deep in the Alaskan wilderness, beneath the howling wind, the choir is singing. That's the first thing you notice when you get too close, the way the air goes still, how the crunch of snow underfoot sounds muffled, like something is pressing in around you. The trees here grow twisted, their branches clawing at the sky as if trying to escape the earth. And then there's the singing. It starts as a hum, barely audible, just beneath the threshold of hearing. Some mistake it for the blood rushing in their own ears until the melody takes shape. A hymn without words, a dirge sung in a language that predates man. Those who hear it describe an overwhelming urge to follow it, to step inside the asylum's gaping maw and join the chorus. In 1982, a team of researchers from Anchorage set up equipment just beyond the tree line, determined to document the phenomenon. Their last transmission was a garbled audio clip, now locked in the university's archives. Most of it is static, but in the final seconds, a voice, too many voices layered over one another, can be heard whispering. The researchers were found 3 days later, kneeling in the asylum's central hall, their recording devices placed neatly in front of them. Every tape had been erased, except one. When played back, it contained only 3 words, repeated in a child's voice. Since then, the asylum has grown restless. The shadows in its windows move even when no one is there to cast them. Hunters report finding fresh footprints leading up to the doors, but none leading away. And sometimes, just before dawn, a single flickering light appears in the upper floor, as if someone inside is lighting a candle, waiting. There is a light in the highest window of Black Hollow Asylum. It's been seen for over a century, a dim, wavering glow like a candle fighting the dark. The old miners used to say it was the last doctor still working through the night. The Tlingit elders warn it's Kushtaka, the trickster spirit, luring the lost to their doom. But the truth is far worse. In 1998, a journalist named Daniel Reeves broke into the asylum for a Halloween feature. His camera captured 17 minutes of footage before the battery died. The tape shows him climbing the stairs, his breath ragged, flashlight shaking. On the third floor, he finds a door that shouldn't exist, freshly painted, with a brass knob that gleams like new. Behind it, a warm glow spills across the rotten floorboards. The camera catches his hesitation. Then, slowly, he reaches for the knob. Daniel's body was found the next spring, frozen solid in the asylum's courtyard, his face locked in a smile. His camera was still recording. The final frame shows only darkness and two words, scratched into the lens as if by an unseen hand. Come home. Now the light burns brighter. It's visible from the highway on moonless nights, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Some say it changes colors, sometimes gold, sometimes a sickly green. Those who approach swear they hear voices inside, not screaming but laughing, as if something in there remembers how. The asylum's front door creaks open wider each winter, and the light in the window grows stronger. Even in the dead of winter, when the rest of Alaska lies buried under meters of ice, the ground around the asylum stays bare, a perfect circle of damp earth, steaming faintly, as if something beneath is breathing hot, rotten breath up through the soil. The trees closest to the foundation have begun to lean away, their roots blackened and brittle, like they're trying to crawl backward, like wet wool left to mildew, like a butcher's block scrubbed too late, like the inside of a sick room where the windows haven't opened in years. It clings to your clothes, your hair. They say if you breathe it in too deep, you'll start tasting copper at the back of your throat. You'll wake up with your pillow damp, though your mouth is desert dry. Last February, a wildlife photographer named Lyle Hooper set up a time-lapse camera facing the asylum, hoping to document the unnatural thaw. What he captured was worse. The footage shows the asylum's front doors slowly swinging open at 3:17 a.m. No wind, no hand visible on the knob, just the yawning blackness of the entrance, and then, pouring out in a glistening rush, something dark and wet spreading across the snow. Not water, too thick for that, too deliberate. The camera's memory card corrupted after 6 minutes and 13 seconds. The final frame shows the substance pooling at the tripod's base before the screen cuts to static. They found Lyle's parka 3 days later, neatly folded on the asylum's front steps. The lining was damp, still warm. Now the thaw spreads further every night. The ground stays soft, and from the asylum's highest window, the light burns brighter than ever, a lighthouse in reverse, calling the damned ashore. And deep below the melting permafrost, something old is waking up. You've read the stories, you've seen the warnings. Now the choice is yours. The asylum is waiting, the choir is singing. The light still burns in that high window, brighter now, hungrier. It wants new voices to join its hymn. It wants fresh eyes to witness what stirs beneath the thawing earth. Maybe you think you'll be different. Maybe you believe you can walk those rotting halls and leave unscathed. You're wrong. But if you must go, if the whispers in the wind have already curled around your thoughts, then heed this final warning. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. If you enjoyed it, do give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon with more secrets and stories. If you've made it this far, you're truly brave. But this was only the beginning. We'll meet again in the next story. Until then, think twice before you turn the lights off.